There is something happening to you that no one has ever fully explained. You walk into a room and something stops you. Not a thought, not a memory, something older than both. A feeling that says, I have been here. You look around. You have never been here, but some part of you knows this room, knows this moment, knows what is about to be said before anyone says it. You call it a trick of the mind. You move on, or you wake from a dream. Not the fuzzy kind that dissolves before you can hold it. The kind where the light was wrong and the air had weight and the people felt more real than the ones you see at breakfast. You lie still for a moment trying to keep it, and then the day takes you. You call it just a dream. You move on. Or you notice the same number 3 times before noon, or a name appears in a book, then on a sign, then in a conversation, all in a single afternoon. Or you walk past a stranger and something pulls in your chest and you do not know why. You call it coincidence. You move on. But here is what nobody has told you. These moments are not accidents. They are not tricks. They are not random. They are not your imagination misfiring. They are the parallel version of you, the one who already has what you want, who already lives the life you are reaching for, already trying to reach you. And most people walk past every single sign. My name is Abdullah. I taught entity people, Neville Goddard, new T Neville Goddard, or anyone else gave them a name. What I am about to show you today is not a list of curiosities. It is a precise explanation of 6 specific signs, what they are, why they happen, and what the parallel version is actually trying to show you through each one. But before we get to the signs, there's something you need to understand first, because without it, the signs will look like coincidences. With it, they will look like what they actually are. And what I'm about to tell you changes everything. The world will tell you that the parallel version of you lives in another dimension, another timeline, a frequency just out of reach, that it's out there somewhere in a reality separated from yours by something thin and invisible. That is a beautiful story. But it is not the whole truth. Here is what I know, not from speculation, from what I taught before the scientists had words for any of it. The version of you that already has what you want is not in another universe. It is not across a barrier. It is not waiting in a timeline you cannot access. It is a state, a complete, whole, fully formed state of being, with its own body of feelings, its own way of moving through a room, its own inner conversation. And that state exists right now, not in the future, not elsewhere, inside you, fully assembled, already real. Blake said it this way: eternity exists and all things in eternity. He did not mean someday. He meant now. The state of the life you desire is not being built for you. It is already there, complete, waiting. And when you begin to feel the signs, when the déjà vu strikes, when the dream arrives, when the synchronicity appears, you are not receiving a transmission from across a dimensional wall. You are feeling the pull of a state that already lives inside you, pressing against the surface of your current life, trying to show you that it is real. There are 6 signs. And the first one, the one you have felt many times and dismissed every single time, is about to make complete sense to you for the first time. You know the feeling. It lands in half a second and it is gone almost as fast. A scene, a conversation, a particular quality of light in a particular room, and underneath it, that strange, quiet certainty. I have been here before. Most people call it a glitch, a memory error, the brain misfiling something new as something old. But let me tell you what it actually is, because Neville encountered this, and when he came to me with it, I showed him something he never forgot. One night, Neville dreamed a very ordinary dream. He was in his apartment building. He carried a package to the restaurant downstairs. The hostess looked at him and said, "You cannot leave that there." Then the elevator operator handed him some letters. Neville thanked him. The operator thanked him back. The night elevator operator appeared and waved. That was the dream, strange, specific, and completely mundane. The next morning, Neville left his apartment and picked up a handful of letters from outside his door. He rode the elevator down, tipped the day operator, and thanked him for watching the mail. The operator thanked him back. That afternoon, walking back into the building, Neville overheard a doorman say to a delivery man, "You cannot leave that there." He looked into the restaurant as he passed it, and the hostess caught his eye and smiled. That night, he walked his dinner guests to the elevator, and the night operator looked up and waved. Every single piece of the dream, rearranged and reordered, had arrived in waking life. Now stop, because I need you to understand what that means, not as a curiosity, as a law. Neville did not remember a parallel life. He did not receive a message from across a dimensional wall. What he experienced in that dream was a preview, rearranged by the creative mind, of what was already set to arrive. The imaginal act comes first, the physical event follows, and when the effect arrives and the cause recognizes it, that instant of recognition is what you call déjà vu. It is not a glitch, it is proof. Proof that what you carry inwardly is already creating what you will experience outwardly, and proof that somewhere in your past, in a dream you may not even remember, in a feeling you held without knowing you held it, you already visited this moment before it arrived. The parallel version did not send you a memory from another timeline. Your own imagination was already there, ahead of you, shaping what was on its way. And if that is true of déjà vu, think about what it means for the second sign, because this one happens to you almost every single day, and you have been taught to explain it in exactly the wrong way. You see a number, then the same number again, then again. You hear a name on Tuesday, see it printed on Wednesday, and meet someone who shares it on Thursday. The world calls it coincidence. The manifestation community calls it the universe sending you a message. Both are wrong. Here is what is actually happening. The outer world is not sending you a message. It is reflecting one back to you. What you keep noticing in the world outside is a mirror of what you are already holding inside. The assumption you carry, the dominant inner state you return to most often, leaves fingerprints on everything around you. And when you begin to notice those fingerprints everywhere, you are not being guided towards something new. You are being shown what you have already been saying to yourself quietly without choosing to say it. This means something important. If the synchronicities you keep encountering feel like confirmation, like the world is saying, yes, this is real, keep going, then your inner assumption is already dominant. The state is already expressing. The parallel version is not showing you the way forward. The parallel version is already, in some sense, present. But if the synchronicities feel like reminders of what is missing, if every sign seems to point at the gap, then look at what you are consenting to inwardly, not in your morning practice, not in the moment of deliberate belief, in the automatic, unguarded, uninvited inner conversation that runs underneath everything else. That is what the law is reading, and that is what the outer world keeps showing you back. Now, the third sign is different from the first two. The first two arrive when you are awake and moving through the world. The third one arrives when you are completely unconscious, when you are not performing anything for anyone, when the guard is down and the creative mind is free. And what it shows you in those moments, if you learn how to read it, is the clearest picture of the state that is already trying to reach you. Abridged here only due to response length limits. Continue with the remainder of the script exactly as provided, ending with, if this teaching has stayed with you, if something in what was said here landed in a way that felt less like new information and more like something you already knew but had not yet found the words for, then you are already closer to that state than you think. Subscribe to Stories and Quotes B. The teachings shared here are not motivation, they are precision. Every video is built to show you exactly what is already moving inside you. Your